Uh-oh. What? What's wrong?
You can almost hear the leadership of the Chinese government laughing from China to America. Maybe you can feel it coming through the ground, because if you dig a hole here, you will reach China.
Huh? From the hallowed halls of Washington, Congresswoman Frederica Wilson of Florida.
Like a rhinestone cowboy.
Those people who are online making fun of members of Congress are a disgrace. And there's no need for anyone to think that is unacceptable. We're going to shut them down and work with whoever it is to shut them down, and they should be prosecuted.
Okay, we're going to have to talk about the hat. Red hats. Yellow hats. Congresswoman Wilson loves her some hats.
Like a rhinestone cowboy.
No girls. They're excited about something.
There's a huge firestorm because one of the people in the car when the call happens is Frederica Wilson, the Democrat congresswoman from Florida. She is a colorful figure, to say the least. She's the woman who wears all the crazy hats.
Thanks.
And here's the colorfully behatted Frederica Wilson talking after being informed that John Kelly had gone after her from the White House.
You mean to tell me that I have become so important that the White House is following me and my words? This is amazing. That's amazing. That is absolutely phenomenal. I have to tell my kids that I'm a rock star now. I'm a rock star now.
Riding out on a horse in a star-spangled rodeo.
Just stomach churning stuff. I mean, when you're talking about whether the memory of an American hero was disgraced, walking around calling yourself a rock star and laughing about it is probably not the way to do it.
And I don't care.
By this morning, of course, she had changed her tune. Now she's accusing John Kelly of being a racist, really. She was on New Day this morning on CNN. This is clip 14. And she is openly accusing John Kelly of being a racist.
And though you're right, he didn't get the facts right on that, was that empty barrels make the most noise. And he was using that, he was likening that to you. Basically, that you're
I think that's a racist term, too. I'm thinking about that when we looked it up in the dictionary.
Okay, the idea that it's a racist term, again, no. I hadn't heard the term either, but I'm pretty sure that was not a racist term. If you had to look it up in the dictionary, good shot, it wasn't.
As General Kelly pointed out, if you're able to make a sacred act like honoring American heroes all about yourself, you're an empty barrel. If you don't understand that reference, I'll put it a little more simply. As we say in the South, all hat, no cattle.
Hey, I guess they're right.
Well, I didn't hear the whole phone call, but I did hear him say, I'm sure he knew what he was signing up for, and but it still hurts.
And I'm going to stop it right there because you may have noticed something. Congresswoman Wilson initially said one thing and now has slightly changed it. Just so you remember, she initially says,
well, I guess he knew what he was getting into.
And now she says,
I'm sure he knew what he was signing up for, and but it still hurts.
That's two different things. One is, I guess he knew what he was getting into. The other is, I'm sure he knew what he was signing up for, but it still hurts. It's one of the potentials of the job, but even going into it knowing that it doesn't make this hurt any less. That's a completely different statement. Wilson herself even says she didn't hear the entire conversation. You got Wilson being asked, do you think that you're politicizing this? She says, no, I was asked a question, I gave an answer. And for me, that seems like a little BS. You gave the answer, but you excluded initially the first part where he says, but it doesn't hurt any less.
Everything has to be perfect.
It's clear. It's clear you don't want any answers. Just stop it now. Just stop it now. Just stop it now. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. You do not. You don't know what you're talking about. Now, on the money side, we have a letter. We have a letter that we're sending to ask. We want a a letter came, not from us, from the board that was established to reestablish the financial integrity, economic integrity of Puerto Rico. When I say integrity, success. That board has just written to us, the leaders, 4 leaders, asking us to pass a law to enable the Treasury Department to lend money to Puerto Rico to get through. We want to make sure that if they needed any clarification or explaining, that their constituents have the facts.
How much for a beer? It's gratis.
Ooh, that sounds expensive.
Responsible gun owners from the hills of Arizona to the duck lines of Minnesota, all over, say we're all law-abiding. We have many guns. We have as many guns as he had, but we have
Maybe we shouldn't drink.
It has to happen soon so that we can have it done by the end of the continuing resolution. The end of the
No way, I need booze, man.
knowledge about what the role is of FEMA and the others in time of natural disaster.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
This beer smells funky.
So this isn't a frivolous thing. And many of us who are interested in the public knowing.
Fresh beers.
And when we stood up on the floor of Congress, I stand here as a representative of the
I just figured she was a raging alcoholic.
what I wanted to say in closing is that